India stands behind Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal on the Global Hunger Index.
That can't be true.
The Global Hunger Index report has ranked India at 101 of the 116 nations ranked in 2021.
Really? But what was that data based on?
The GHI report defined the level of hunger in India as serious.
But again, where is this data coming from?
India's rank this year is better than the year 2000, when the situation of hunger in this country was alarming.
You are fake news. India bashers, I'll debunk you.
Well, like it or not, but this is what the news is. India is trailing behind Pakistan, Bangladesh, and even Nepal on the Global Hunger Index. But the silver lining in this report for India is that the situation in India this time around is serious as compared to the year 2000, when the hunger situation was alarming. Even war-torn Afghanistan is just one rank below India. I know you will say that India's population is the reason, but let me tell you, China is sitting comfortably at the top slot. Well, now, as per this report, almost 15.3% of India's population is undernourished. 17.3% of children below the age of 5 years are wasted, meaning they face acute undernourishment. 34.7% of children below the age of 5 years are stunted, meaning they face chronic undernourishment. And 3.4% of the children die even before they can celebrate their 5th birthday.
Before you freak out about those numbers, let me enlighten you a bit. First of all, the government of India has correctly called out the Global Hunger Index as using a selective approach, which publishing agencies deliberately did to put India in a bad light and lower India's rank in the GHI 2021. Secondly, the methodology that this report uses is unscientific. This is because it's based on, and hold your breath for this, a 4-question telephone poll. The scientific measurement of undernourishment requires the height and the weight of each child in every country. But the GHI based its data on an overall telephonic estimate of the entire population. Furthermore, the report blatantly regards any support received from the government during COVID-19. The government of India, for example, helped 800 million people via food support during COVID-19's peak. And it wasn't just the government that stepped up. Private entities, self-help groups, and NGOs also helped on a large scale. This was completely disregarded by the GHI this year. And speaking of the coronavirus pandemic, this report also completely disregarded the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. It improved the ranks of Afghanistan as well as Nepal. Now, it's great if these countries actually improve their ranks, but what's laughable is the fact that these countries, according to the report, seem completely unaffected by COVID-19. Let's take Nepal, for example. UNICEF estimates that 43.5% of children under the age of 5 suffer from malnutrition in Nepal. This number is expected to increase by 14.3% just because of the coronavirus pandemic. The GHI completely ignores this. What should be ringing alarm bells is that an internationally recognized report like the Global Hunger Index mocks laid down and scientific procedures and instead publishes inaccurate and incomplete data that's unscientific as well, just to put India in a bad light.
Well, since you are referring to the COVID-19 pandemic as a major factor, let me tell you that this report relied only on the survey data solely for this reason. The German NGO Welthunger-Hilfe claims that it did not use FAO's telephone-based opinion poll. Instead, the Global Hunger Index report relied on FAO's food balance sheet data to determine the level of undernourishment in the countries. The food balance sheet data shows the proportion of population with inadequate access to calories.
But let's take a step back and ask, how were these FAO data sheets collected? This year, the FAO balance sheets were compiled using a phone survey. This was due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, survey data, when done over the telephone, is problematic for several reasons. One major reason is that it ignores important factors that need to be taken under consideration. India, for example, has a very unique milieu. According to the GHI, a person who has access to cell phones tends to be wealthier, in a more urban area, and more educated. But this is not true about India at all. In India, even the poorest of the poor have not only access to cell phones, but also communicate and transact with them. Why is this important for the GHI? This is incredibly important because a poor person could have contacted the government for food support. The telephone survey didn't ask people, nor did the telephone poll ask people whether they had received any support from the government. If the data is questionable for India, then what about each and every other country? Were these unique factors that are actually unique to every country? Were they taken into consideration for each and every country that was assessed and ranked in this report? I don't think so. This makes the entire GHI report and the FAO balance sheets incomplete and inaccurate.
Well, these are genuine concerns and questions that one should be asking the GHI.
Never judge a book by its cover. Always flip through the pages inside or bring the book to me. It's really important to look at the methodology and question the information of what's being presented to you. With that being said, that ends this episode of India Trolls Nation Bashers. Keep watching for more on News 9.